What is up,
Mhm.
everybody? I'm Titus, and we
What
also have.
Dad had
eh,
Tony in the place to be.
Hey, what up, Dad? How you doing today?
What up, Titus? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm really excited. It's been a wild week. Last week was really fun to watch. Um, so I'm excited to watch these games. I think I've gotten to the point now where I am able to watch the games on the weekend in a different light than I always have in the past. So I'm really more just like enjoying these games, and that to me is like it's cool because I'm a fan. I'm a big fan where I'm hooked. I'm watching these games. I'm like, yo, what are they doing? You know what I mean? But whereas before it was kind of I was so far in it that it was hard to think of it outside of like the UEL brain. Now I'm very much detached from the UEL brain and instead just like a fan and watching and just enjoying every match. So that's kind of where I'm at where I'm at with it, and I'm really excited for this week's games too. How was your week?
My week was great. We definitely we got our first win as a team, so I'm definitely excited to speak upon that. Got to commentate my first game. That was a great game. Talk about that. Can't wait to talk about that game, and in general, just great to talk about the week and all the exciting stuff we got coming moving forward.
Awesome, awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Technical timeout. Um, we're gonna get right into the juicy stuff. We got a lot to talk about today. Our agenda
Yeah.
is pretty vast here. But first, let's talk about the ghosts. So I'm gonna pull up that game. Tell me some of your thoughts on the ghosts going into this matchup.
So the Ghost game was very interesting because the Ghosts went full rookies. It was like so. It's definitely you can tell there's a rebuilding phase, but these rookies came, they showed out. I want to see what happens. They got their first franchise win. Hydro as their leader, and want to see what happens. He be
Yeah,
able to carry fight moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Hydro did not do well in fighters whatsoever in this matchup, and that kind of was a downfall. I think when they put Hydro and OG in, my guess is they expected those two to be able to carry the fighters themselves, and then they had their shooters that were going to be able to cover pretty much the other stuff, and that didn't happen the way that I think they expected it to happen.
On top of having, like you said, with them having a shooter strong lineup, a lot of those other games and the way that they were setting up their lineups and putting it didn't work in their favor so much in the beginning of the half of the game.
Right, right,
Because a
exactly.
lot of their now we had I think it was Connor and Rad, if I'm not mistaken, they were playing a sports game and it was molly whopping.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what we saw a lot of. The even the games that you would think you would see the ghosts really thrive in, and especially since they're in their past stuff. I mean, here's what I'll say. I think all in all, the rookie move, playing all pretty much all rookies, um, I would rate it
Mm.
a major. Even though they won, I'd say it was a actually I'd say it's a major. I'd say it's a major pass. And the only reason I'm hesitating, um, is I feel like they uh, they expected to have a much better showing than they did, and then when the Wolves came out as strong as they did, they started to fall apart a little bit. It was Hydro trying to get his first win as a GM, which congratulations to him on that. And it's a tough win. You're
Mhm.
expecting an easy game against the Ghosts, and then all of a sudden, the next topic, Bernay and Alchemist show up, and that isn't what
Yep.
it's gonna be. So what would you rate Hydro's performance in this first match?
Now we're going as a coach or a player.
as a GM. As a GM.
As a GM, I would have to rate it no lower than at least a 6.57 because they
Okay.
got the win.
Yeah. Yeah. I would rate it like a three. I feel like it was not great. And he showed a lot of promise, but what I think is this was like the first really like tough game, and it was one that shouldn't have been tough because because of their tenure. If they had played their starters, I think we know like it would have been a different scenario. I don't know how different because we haven't really seen the Wolves go up against like a dominant force, but still, I think I think that he has a lot to learn as a GM, and that's not really saying anything. Of course he does, but yeah, I can't rate it high because of that. I think it's just there was just too many mistakes.
I see what you're seeing with the mistakes and all that, but like I said, they pulled out the win
Yeah,
with the mistakes. This is true, but like also we also have to understand the Ghosts are in a big rebuilding
yeah,
stance, so they're probably trying to find those new two players, those starting those that new starting lineup,
true.
and the only way to do it is you gotta put them in the fire. You gotta put the babies in the fire, and then see which one is gonna come out.
Yeah,
And a couple of those rookies showed out.
that's why I say the decision as a whole is a pass. Like the decision to um, the decision to play all rookies is a pass
Mm-hmm.
because they got the win. But I don't know that that was a hydro decision. I feel like that was an owner decision. Like, hey, we're gonna test them. We're gonna throw them in the fire. But it could have been a high. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a hydro decision, and I could stand corrected. But I feel like from an owner perspective, that would be my move. Like everybody that we just got, I want to test them. We got 5 draft picks. We got 5 draftees. We're going to play all 5 in this matchup. We want to see exactly what they can do. And I think from that standpoint, it was a pass because they did that and they won. But from a GM
Mm-hmm.
perspective, to me, a lot of the you could see in a lot of these games that they're not the rookies aren't really playing them as well as or not as well as, but they're not playing them, and you see the difference in the mistakes made, the small little issues, though they weren't anything like egregious, it was still there.
Yeah, you can definitely see the rookie mistakes from both GM and from both player aspects. But that plays into the line of also, like we said, this is a new team. Are they trying to figure each other out? Let's see what happens when they go up against another type of team. Because, like we said, the Wolves are a team that in the league people are considering also a rebuilding stage with adding Alchemist and Bernay. So let's see what happens when they go against someone like the Bots or someone like the Reapers.
Yeah,
If that when that happens, because then we can really see where the GM aspect lies in a more tougher competition. Because if you see at the end, even Hydro said it on himself, we got a lot to work on.
yeah,
We
yeah,
won, but yeah, we barely won, and it shouldn't have been like that. And I'm gonna beat myself up because that score should be a lot different. So it's not something that he doesn't know himself as a GM, and I'm gonna see moving forward if they're gonna pick up from this win and learn from it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Let's talk about that. The Wolves they upgraded this season. They went from one basically a one man show to, well, not basically, actually a one man show to now they have a full roster. They have backups that are there at these games. They are the most committed I've ever seen a losing team, and I'm not saying that
Yeah.
because I'm saying from the last season they had nothing but losses, right? Going into this season, they are all fully committed to this team, and a lot of them are rookies. Do you think that
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be enough?
enough for the playoffs. Maybe I believe they're in our conference. If I'm not mistaken, which is what everyone considers to be a pretty easy conference. I can see them maybe making it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
And with some of the stuff that they've been doing, I can see them, you know, I'm never going to say that I could see them beating the Phantoms, but, you know, that game was a mistake and won't happen again. But I can definitely see them, beating the Bucks,
yeah, I feel that.
you know.
I think they beat a lot of teams this season. Not a lot of teams. I'd say
Yeah.
I think they're gonna beat two or three teams that don't expect it. I think there's probably gonna be they're probably gonna win about 3 or 4 games this season, and maybe they do more, but I think they're gonna surprise some people because if the Ghosts are any type of sentiment to what the league is feeling, I think a lot of teams are going to play their backups, and
Yeah.
the thing is their backups aren't gonna know what's coming from the on the Wolves side because the Wolves are still new. They are very committed. They
Yeah.
understand UEL and they're taking a lot of time to learn that coaching side of it. So I think they're just gonna get like they're gonna end up being catching teams off guard, thinking, "Oh, I can play my backups," and then it's not gonna go down like that. Like they're it's not gonna be that simple.
And I feel that way also with their chemistry. Their chemistry is going to get a whole lot better as a team, as a unit with Alchemist and Bernard and all of, and the way that they're racking up points is going to bring the morale together. When I played them, I like the communication that I was seeing from their leaders
Yeah.
to their new to a lot of the rookies. So I can see them definitely mm, making an impact. I would have to do one thing, and it's hard for me to do this because I don't really like watching that other show. But agreeing with 300 and saying that a lot of us teams need to stop trying to focus on first place and second place,
Yeah.
and focus on getting into the playoffs,
Yeah. That's good.
winning some type of money, and getting these reps in to showing that we're not just an expansion team or we're not just a team that's here for you guys to get numbers on. I I want to see other teams focus on the reality aspect of those teams been here. They put in their work. That's going to be their spot for a while. Why are we focusing on something that's unrealistic?
Yeah, and I'd say more than I don't agree with 300, but I agree from a standpoint of uh, I agree that it's going to be tough and you're going to have to take your lashings. But I think that a team that starts off at the bottom this year, even if they just barely make it into the playoffs with a 2-win season, they can still go into the playoffs and make noise and actually win. Like the way that this league is set up, it very much can you can be in an underdog situation where the underdog can win um, simply from understanding every single game and the mechanics of that game. Like if you watch the matchup where I played lockdown, I am if you watch it, if you
Yeah,
really pay attention, I am much worse than him at pretty much every game we played. Like I don't play video games, but I understand them. I understand the mechanics of them. And the whole thing that I was trying to prove was that now you want to learn the games and all that, and you guys are going to master them because that's your job. But from my perspective, I still see it as 60% of it comes down to game plan and coaching, and that's how much time I spent on every game. It's like 5 minutes of okay, what is my game plan? How am I gonna operate in this game? And then I did it. I went into the game and I operated that way. Halo's a great example. He's better than me in Halo. I think that was clear. He's better than me in Fortnite. I think that was clear. Like I don't really play these games. But when it came down to it, if I got up by one, you chasing me till the cows come home. That's it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
as soon as I'm up by one, I'm out of there, right? And so all it took was one mistake, and then that's it for him, right? Now you can't do that with a lot of these teams, But this game here, League of Legends, is a great example
Yes.
of how that can happen to you. As a ghost organization, if you have OG and Hydro, two people, two veterans that have played this game
You're not
consistently,
losing this. Yeah.
yes, and
Not supposed to
they're
lose this.
letting a baby strategy completely take them out of their game, right? Like, and I say a baby strategy because if I believe that if Bernay, Alchemist, and Jorginho wanted to, and Poppy, if they want, I've seen them play this game, and if they wanted to, they could have gone in there and probably wiped them. But they played it safe the whole time instead. Instead, they played it back, knowing that there was going to be a problem with OG, potentially Hydro. They played it safe, they played back, and then they waited for the right time. I don't even know if they won. I don't think they did, but they might have. But this is a strategy.
No, the Wolves won that.
They
Yeah.
did. Okay. So yeah, so that strategy worked, right? But for me, if I'm the ghosts, I'm not letting something
Hmm.
like that happen. Like you have to force them to play your game. You can't allow them to just play their game and then you lose because you just let them play their game, right? Like that's just to me that's unacceptable as a coach. You can't let them play their game. You have to force them to play yours.
And the fact that it was so close, I predict it was one of those like you said, they were playing it safe and they played it so close. There was so many opportunities in that game to pull away, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like wondering what was it the issue of, like you said though, can only two people play that game,
I don't think
or
it
should
see the thing is back in the day I feel like we could always like blame the rookies, right? But this
Mhm.
game the rookies perform and outperformed. The rookies outperformed everyone else. Like Hydro
Yeah.
probably had the worst record out of anybody on that team. You had Mystical who went 8-2 on that team, who's a
Mhm.
rookie. You had both rookies, Connor and Rad, play well.
Act-
So it's like you can't really blame the rookies at all in this game. The rookies are probably the only reason that this game was won.
so,
You know, the game was won because of the rookies. I think, if I'm honest, I think that the Wolves are just very underrated right now, strictly because of last season and what happened last season. But they are a new team, and I really think that they're gonna cause problems for teams this season. Like they're gonna put teams in a worse position than what we think. Um, and that's just
mhm.
that's what I'm calling right now. I think Hollywood said Cool Fire. What do you say? Rookie of the Year, Cool Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I have a couple thoughts for Rookie of the Year, and we'll talk about them in a second. But let's go to the next game. So let me make sure we covered everything on this.
So we got
Here we go. Here we
we,
go. Let's talk about Connor and Red. All right, from the
yeah.
Ghosts. Who do you think is better? And this doesn't. I just want to know. Like,
In my opinion, with what I was seeing with some of the shooters, if I had to choose a 1 and 2, I'd go Connor then Rad.
Connor than Red.
I feel
Okay,
like
I'm hearing that a
Connor
lot.
had more kills. Connor had more like he looked like he was more of an in-game lead when it came to the shooting games. He stood at the top of the leaderboard, which was surprising with how things go with how things went in. But Connor was always someone that I considered was going to be someone to make noise. Like, ever since I saw him in the combine, he was on my top list of teams that people that I felt that the fan should have took.
All right. If
But I definitely believe Connor has a play for rookie of the year myself,
if
or
you're
at least
from the
shooter of the year.
yeah, if you're from the Ghosts or the Wolves, send Dad had a DM. If you're from the Ghosts or the
Right now,
Wolves and you're trying to hop on, send Dad had a DM. We want to talk to you. All right. So you think Connor? I kind of agree with that, just from what we've seen so far.
mhm.
But I think my pick earlier in the I think I honestly if we see anything out of the number one draft pick this season, Um, I I think that he's probably, but I don't know. We're not. I don't think we're gonna see it. I mean, the fact that he's on the Reapers don't have any reason to really start him, or to play him at this point. I just don't understand
Mm-hmm.
the whole pickup and all that. It just doesn't make sense. Like they could have picked up a fighter. They decided to go with the shooter. Now they're struggling in fighters. It's not making sense to me. But if I had to say between those two who's better, I'd have to say Connor as well. It's just hard because I like what I'm seeing out of Rad. I like that. I mean, he went and played. I think I saw that he played 2v1 against Stars and
Mm-hmm.
Carnage. And I'm like, oh, that right there, it's a bad idea. But the fact that you're willing to do it, man, you're confident in your skills, and we saw what they did in. We saw what they've done in Call of Duty. We saw what they can do in Fortnite. We've seen what they can do in all these different games. I think that if they put as much effort and work into what they've done to get this good at those shooters, it's going to be tough to decide between the two of them if it's a two-man race.
Yeah, especially I feel like, especially when it comes to that category of rookie shooter of the year.
And then one of the last things from this game, we'll move on from this game because I feel like we. But I want to
We've been on
show you this interview. So hold on, because
the
this.
First W as a GM, how you feeling?
Good, good. I would like to
children
see
of Hydra.
more.
Hydro.
The score be bigger, but
So we're gonna
it's a
call
learning
them.
experience, and I can't really complain about that.
Now I've got something for your rookies. I see that you brought 5 of them out today.
Mhm.
Didn't play some of the veterans. I thght you might want to sprinkle
That's
them
what
in.
I said. We're
What
gonna
was
call
the
them
idea
the
here? I want
children
to
of
hear from some of the
Hydra.
rookies.
Hydro.
Rad, Connor.
Jay Luke's birthday's today.
Oh, hey, happy birthday, yes sir.
Hold on.
Hey man,
Over here with this man.
that was making you sweat, huh? I am super
They
excited
asked-
with
they
what
asked
Hydro
Talk
Hydro-
about
was
Jay.
displaying.
Jay.
It is a
Yeah, they
turnaround,
asked him a
revamp,
question.
a,
They asked
not
Hydro a
rebuild,
question.
But a
He says,
retooling of sorts.
they said, "How was this game?" Good, good.
Very
the
good
whole-
win to
that's
you
the
guys,
whole
and
answer.
congratulations. Happy to see y'all get it done.
When does he
Still
talk? When does he
Hydro,
talk?
man.
We will be tapping
talks,
out
right?
here.
Hold on.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Huh?
Here's,
Yeah, yeah,
here's-
yeah.
here's-
in our favor. Some did, and we performed well. And
It was a little bit ahead, but you
sorry
got
about
Jay.
Call of Duty. I
Oh,
don't play mouse
that
and
he's
keyboard.
about to talk.
But no, I mean, great learning experience. Regardless, we're just gonna keep getting better.
Is this
we're not
Hydra?
here for the drama. We're here to play video games, like Hydro says.
Is this
And
Hydra?
we're just gonna keep getting better. This is a great group. We have great.
It
reviews,
is.
So we're just
It
gonna
is.
keep going.
Man, if you don't sound like a native Hydro, come on.
Oh my
stance,
god,
the
he
talk,
called it out.
the demeanor.
I didn't even realize Mike called it out at the end there. I didn't realize that. But yeah, bro, is that Hydra? I was watching it and I'm watching his like mannerisms and I'm like, yo, hold on.
Yes,
Is this man?
you can see the way it's like a way they stand next to each other as well.
He's like got his arms crossed. They're both just looking at each other. And Hydro, look at Hydro's face. He looks like a
Nodding,
proud papa. Like he's like
daddy.
he's like,
That's what I said.
that's right, son. Great job.
That's the children of Hydro.
He said, everything under, see everything in this light? It can all be yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything the sunlight touches, that's yours.
Which is
All right, so that's that game. Let's go back. Let's go back and look at the
Alright.
next. Oh, I want to talk about this. So this is a big deal. So we saw a huge trade come through.
yes. Yes.
Stars. Man, let's talk about that. What
The
are
big noise that's going around
yes,
campus.
yes.
The
What
Phantoms and then the
what are your thoughts with this with stars?
Was it's a little it's this one blew me mind because I couldn't even believe that I would see stars coming off of the Gorillas.
Hmm.
So I thought I'd see stars be a gorilla until he won them a championship.
I had hoped so too, but it is what it is.
All right, I do feel that we're gonna see a different stars
Mhm.
come out of the Ravens with with everyone who's on that team. I feel like he has a good core around him to steer him straight he's already a performer that we know is can make noise and is going to make noise. I believe that the Ravens are going to help him do that a whole lot faster.
Yeah, I can agree. I think but I will say though, from the Gorillas, from what I've seen of the Gorillas, they've really put a spotlight on Stars. They saw him as their franchise, right? So I don't think the Ravens do the same. I don't think we see that same thought process from the Ravens. So it's going to be tough because he's going to have to. I think it's a good thing. He's going to have to earn his way into that spotlight, where the Gorillas gave it to him because they saw that from him. You know, when I first met Stars, I saw a a a star end gamer. Like I think
Hmm.
that he's very capable. If he puts in the work, he puts in the effort. I think we see that from him. But but I think that that being said, the Ravens aren't going to put him in that same spotlight that he got from the Gorillas, and he's gonna have to be more of a role player than he was on the Gorillas, at least from a like the spotlight as far as spotlight goes. So that's pretty much
I believe
yeah. That's
I
pretty
believe that
much.
that's gonna
Go ahead.
oh
No,
I
go ahead.
believe that that's gonna help him in a way too. Because sometimes when you get that spotlight, being so young, being a young athlete, you get that spotlight. You don't have a veteran or someone to tell you that's been there, done that. You might mess up along the way. And that's why I believe him going to the Ravens and having to play that role as you are now a role player. And you're going to learn from these vets so that maybe in 2 seasons, you're going to be this vet. And the MJ that we believe you are, that could be, it's going to happen. But the only way you could do that is by playing sidekick real quick. Mhm. Anyone wants to talk, tune in, DM that had Tony. We want to hear from you guys. Play these games. Whose fault is it? Let's play the blame game. What y'all want to hear? Let's see it in the comments. Talk to me. Talk to me next. Talk to me right.
Oh my gosh, these it's just bots. 300 will tell you just dealing with bots. Anyways, now I have a the rental car thing is just yeah. Anyways, all right. So back to this. So now I want to move off Stars real quick. Go on to
Yes.
the this game, Phantoms Bucks. So I have a lot to talk about with this because I think that um, what we're looking at is a couple of things. One, I think the Phantoms are coming together in a way that I didn't expect. If I'm honest,
Hmm.
tell me what do you from a
Real
Phantoms
quick.
perspective? How does it feel?
Rad is mad. Has inboxed me.
All right, bet. Yeah, let's call him. Or just add him to the thing.
Let me.
Let me turn this off. Yeah, I don't think I have Red on there, so I don't think I could do it anyways.
Yeah.
You call him? I heard you, but I don't hear you now. Yeah, I don't know where he went. Not here though. Let me see if I got him on here. Anyways, while we're waiting on Dad had to figure that out. He's got 300 syndrome, I think, is all it is. All right, so I wanted to talk though about the Phantoms. My thought on the Phantoms right now is that the combination of well, not I would say Baba Yaga and Sparrow remind me of the Strix and Havoc combination.
Hmm.
Is he available? Is he hopping on?
Again?
Did you get him to hop on?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm getting him right now. She just sent me a.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me just make a group right now. Technical difficulties, yeah.
I feel like we need to use like we could use something where people can just click a link and then they hop in. That way we could just send a link out to them. They hop into this joint. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know. Yeah, I think. Anyways, what I was saying is, I think that combination, Sparrow, Baba Yaga, is about to be very much like the Strix Havoc, as long as they both stick with it. Because Baba Yaga's numbers were pretty wild. My man went 6-3. 6-3 is a really good, like that's a really good, especially when you lost the game. Most of the games that they lost, he either wasn't in for, or it was a forfeit due to whatever setup. Yo, you having trouble over there, ain't you? Nah, I don't hear him. Oh, he's frozen. Here, let me try something. There we go. You.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
Chilling yourself?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you asking. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about you and Connor and even actually if you feel comfortable the whole situation with stars and the 2v1 because I don't know what happened in that whole thing.
Sure, sure.
But a couple questions. First one, what is your after playing in that game? You had all rookies, and I don't know how much you know what that means or whatever, but it means a lot to the
Sure.
outsiders, to the fans, to play all rookies and win. How did that feel for you?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, we have, I think, out the gate really confident like rookies. The team we played against, they also had a lot of rookies.
Yeah.
So it was like, like it wasn't like we went out and beat a veteran, super veteran team. They
Well,
also had a lot of rookies.
yeah, they had four. I think they had 4 or 5 that weren't rookies, that were actually veterans, and then they had 2 rookies. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
I thought I
so.
had a lot of rookies.
No, no, no. They had
I could be wrong then.
no, no. They had a lot of players that were traded to that team, but they
Ah,
weren't
okay,
rookies. So Jorginho played for
okay.
the Gorillas. Brene Alchemist did. Andre came from last season. Um, and then I think there was one more that I'm forgetting, but Poppy. He was on
Yeah.
the Gorillas. He was not a rookie. So they
Okay.
they had 5 vets and 2 rookies, I believe, versus 5 rookies and 2 vets.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's cool then. I mean, at the end of the day, like we've been all of the rookies, whether it's me, Connor, J. Lou, Mystical, Exile, Stefano, we all pretty much practice every day.
Okay.
So a lot of those games we're super familiar with, and I think that's just a result of us practicing, to be honest with you.
And that's something that I've recognized. So in previous seasons, and I know you're a rookie, so you don't know, but in previous seasons the rookies would come in and they really struggled with pretty much every game except their game. Like they'd have like one game that they were good at, and then every other game they were pretty ass. Like they were bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
do you feel like your rookie class is all pretty understanding of the term end gamer and welcome to play all these games?
I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I mean, I know the people on my team, like Connor specifically, is like extremely versatile. Like last night, we played 5 or 6 different games, like outside of practice, and it was a top performer in every game. He picks up games super easily. Like
Huh.
it's
Yeah.
not it's something like we're both used to play games semi-professionally. Um, yeah, it's something we've been doing our whole life, so it's not super hard for us.
Interesting. What? So did you know Mystical went 8-2?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. He played so well.
Okay. Now, do you feel like he could be a contender for Rookie of the Year too?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just gonna depend on who gets playing time. Like if Mystical is better to me, he's gonna get playing time, and then therefore he's a contender for Rookie of the Year. But if he's not playing, or I'm not playing, or Connor's not playing, it's gonna be whoever's best. I think a mixture of somebody on our team, for sure will win Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's gonna be close.
You're sure it's going to be the Ghost though?
It'd be crazy if it wasn't. Honestly, it'd be crazy if it wasn't Connor. It would be crazy
Okay.
if it wasn't Connor.
All right. So then, another question. So I do want to hear what with the star situation,
Yeah.
this isn't a bag on anybody. I just want to know. So I saw like you guys played each other,
Yep.
and I heard that you beat him, and then like I don't know. I guess stuff got like popped off, and then it was like, oh, well, play me 2-on-1, which I don't fully
Yeah.
understand that challenge, but.
Sure.
But it happens, and then you play. Was it close, or was it just they destroyed you?
So, okay. He beat me 5. They beat me 5-1.
You
but
beat them.
here's
You
what I-
beat them
no,
once.
Yeah, but here's what I will say about that. Within the game, there are different like weapons and loadouts and material count that the whole team can use,
Uh-huh.
right? Like so each player has the same loot.
Right.
I needed, as a 2v1 scenario, the most amount of material I could possibly use because there's 2 of them and 1 of me.
Right.
They didn't allow for that. So I had
Interesting.
significantly less mats. I also didn't have a weapon that kind of made it possible for us to 2v1. But with that being said, they would have also had the same weapon and loadout. So Stars was like, that wouldn't be fair. I was like, bro, we would have had the same loadout. Regardless, I mean, they won, right?
Yeah,
They won.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit frustrating because I was sitting there, I was like, bro, like I said I get to pick the game mode and loadout. It's a 2v1. I went in there. There was none of that. So
Yeah. I saw.
um,
I saw you seemed pretty even keel about it, and I saw that you didn't really pop off. It seems like you seem confident in that you don't need to. But I will say. I commend you for doing it, right? And then I saw
Sure.
your reaction and I thought it was awesome. I that was the one thing that I saw. I didn't get to see any of the match. I didn't get to see, what
yeah.
happened in between, but I will say if that's the case, and this is our first time hearing this, that's pretty sick, man. Like you could have easily laid all that out for everybody to see, right? That had
Yep. He handicapped it was handicap on top of a handicap.
Yeah, like it was like because we played fair, it's unfair, right? Like
Yep.
that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I lost, right? I
Right,
mean, like,
right, right,
I mean, it wasn't like it was some prohibitor that made it like impossible. It just significantly lowered my, like, it didn't make it a little bit more even keeled for a 2v1 scenario,
Understood. Yeah,
especially with the
Yeah.
play style that they had played.
like I said, it's because it was fair, it was unfair. But the whole challenge is unfair. So in a
Yeah.
sense, it's like, it is what it is. I would like to see, however, the 2v2 Connor Rad versus. I mean, we could put that on pay-per-view. Connor Rad.
I mean, we could run it, but Connor don't play the game. They both play it.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
that's the one shooter Connor don't play.
Okay. I
So
didn't
it's
know that.
like, so originally I was like, nah, bro, let's just 1v1. And then they were like, Stars was like, nah, I want a 2v2. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that because Connor don't play the game. So like fuck it, I'll 2v1.
Okay. All right.
And I
So
did
what I'm
lose.
hearing is that we got to get Connor in the lab so we can get this pay-per-view match going.
Yeah.
Well, they're not even on the same team no more, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, true. But
It's true.
you know what would be crazy though if we did a we could do the shooter challenge, right? And we pick maybe like the two best from each team. They get to send their two best shooters in and then see who's got the best shooters. You know, of course it's like the shooter belt challenge, but maybe we instead make it the just two
A
cuz
tag team?
yeah.
We're gonna have a
That'd be fire.
tag team
Yeah,
championship.
yeah, like
That'd
I
be
feel
fun.
like that's a dope
That'd be
idea.
fun.
We should do
That'd be
that. All
fun.
right, last part.
Go for it.
Who do you blame for it being as close as it was? Like, who on your team is at fault for that?
And you can't take fault.
Yeah, you can't take fault.
For being as close as it was.
Yeah, because you guys won, but I mean, should it have been that close? You know.
I mean, is that like a fair question? We
Yes,
have five
it
rookies.
is. It's very
Like
fair.
we had
It's
five
a fair
rookies. I
question.
mean, I'll blame it on Hydra for putting in five rookies.
There we
I guess.
go.
Like if we had, but like I agreed with him on the decision, so like I don't know like if I can
Nah,
blame him for that.
You already said it. It's clip it.
You're the
Everybody clip it.
player.
It's Hydra's
I
fault.
blame Hydra for putting five rookies in. I guess. Just know this whole season, whenever I join us, I'm blaming on Hydra because
Alright,
I don't think he
perfect.
really gives a fuck. So any decision, bro, blame it. If I lose a game, it's Hydra's fault for putting
There
me
we
in.
go.
Like that's what it is.
Yep.
Hydro, you
Okay.
heard it here. It's Hydro's fault. That's all we need to know. I appreciate you for hopping on it.
All right,
Yeah,
Rod.
bro. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Okay.
Yep, you
too.
too. Peace. Hey, that's all we need to know. Hydro's fault. He's a cool dude. That's a cool dude, man. I've never talked to him, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. But nah, he seems like a really chill guy.
Real chill.
So,
Yeah, he is. He is. He definitely is.
yeah. So,
All right, let's get back to this beautiful game.
yeah. All right. So yeah, Phantom.
You were
Beautiful.
speaking on Baba Yaga.
Yeah. So yeah, I think honestly, Baba Yaga
hmm
and Baba Yaga and Sparrow, which we haven't seen a lot from Sparrow, but I've heard so much about him that I honestly think that it could be like a Strix and Havoc combination. Um,
Or
what-
even, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to tell yet. It's hard to tell because of Baba Yaga being a rookie, but he's definitely somebody that we have to pay attention to.
yeah,
And Sparrow, what I saw in the game, he was doing his. They both were doing their thing. They were both people that the team could depend on, and that's something that's impressive. Looking at a rookie's point, that him being a GM and a player, first season, first time doing it, how much leadership he takes.
yeah.
And with Sparrow being, he's not a rookie if I'm not mistaken. This rookie season was last season.
No, Sparrow's his first season. Baba Yaga and Sparrow both
Oh.
rookies. Yeah, yeah. That whole team is pretty much all rookies except Fear. So I mean, what they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's crazy because
Yeah.
they're really getting shit on because what they're doing is actually very impressive. It's just that the league has kind of leveled up in such a way that you can't.
Extremely.
Yeah, you can't be as good as they are. They could have competed so well against like the original Gorillas, the original Trolls, the original like all of the teams when they were first coming out as all rookies. They are dominant in comparison to those expansion teams.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that this is their second season doesn't really matter because they started over. Even Fear wasn't on the Bucks, so they completely started over, and yet they're competing with a lot of these teams.
Do you think that they would have been a difference maker if Strix would have stood on the team?
Oh, 100%. Strix on that. If Strix and Fear with the same team otherwise, and I don't know who you take out, but Strix and Fear on that team, you still have Baba Yaga running it. You still have Sparrow. That makes a huge difference, and that's actually one of the topics. Does Strix make as big of an impact on the Cobras as he did on the Bucks?
As of right now, I would have to say no. As of right now.
I hate to agree, but I do. I agree. I think that we haven't even really got to see Strix, and we haven't really seen the Cobras play a lot,
Yeah.
anyways. But we haven't been able to see him be as dominant on the Cobras, and a lot of that is because of how much skill is on the Cobras right now. But he's just not making as much of an impact as he did on the Bucks.
And I believe that's the factor of, like you're saying, there's a lot of dominant players on the Cobras. So it's not like how when he was on the Bucks, he was that go-to player. Everyone was talking. He was the MJ of the Bucks back in those days.
Yes.
So now it's like the same situation with the Stars situation. Now it's filling in that role-playing mindset, that role-playing aspect, and is if he can do it well for them.
And I'll say I think that he will probably pull it off better than Stars will as far as the role playing thing.
Yes.
Stars wants to be the star, right? But he is
Strix
going to
wants
be
to win.
yeah, he wants to win. So he's going to be okay playing in the background, which will help the Cobras ultimately more than he ever did on the Bucks. But right now, as for right
Yeah.
now, he's definitely not. I think that the Cobras would be in the same position without him on the team, and the Bucks would have been a lot better off with him
Yeah.
on the team. Is basically all I'm saying.
And he would have probably got more of a, not to say like he wants the limelight, but the limelight would have been because it would have been him carrying this team. Because what are we seeing from the Bucks now compared to if he was on it? We're saying a different team.
Yeah.
So everyone would have had Strix in a different limelight because it would have been like, yo, you whatever you did in your rookie season, you continued, and now you're making it better because you have a lineup, you have good rookies now, you have a good team to follow suit with.
And the coaching from the Bucks is amazing. So if Baba Yaga joins and Strix is still a Buck, then
Yeah.
I think now they have double that, right? Like they have double that strategic.
And then you add the factor of that Strix was very good with strategy,
exactly.
and then you have Baba Yaga who's really good with sports. You guys are you putting that together. You just need a little bits and pieces, and you're a full end gaming team.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Next topic. Are the Phantoms gonna win any other games this season?
I believe so. I believe so.
How many? You think?
Everyone's. I mean, I'm going for realistically 4 to 5.
4 to 5 more games.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up your schedule now, cause now I gotta look at this schedule and see where the 4 or 5 games coming from.
Go right ahead.
Let me-
I'll tell you against who they are.
So you're saying 4 or 5 total, or 4 or 5 more games?
4 or 5 total.
Total games.
Like,
Okay.
probably 5, 6, 5, 4. Like a 5. That's what I'm saying. Our end record would be.
Okay. So are y'all beating the Trolls this week?
It's depending on lineup. Yes.
You can beat the Trolls.
Yes.
Okay. Are you beating the Ravens?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love Stars. I do. I believe that he can be something later on, but he said something a while ago that just doesn't sit well with Phantoms and never sat well with Phantoms. So we owe him a little something. So I'm waiting for that game.
Okay. So then Gorillas.
Yeah.
Okay, you're beating the Gorillas. Trolls. Again, yeah. Well, okay. So you said Trolls. You can beat. So that's already. I mean, that's 5 games right there. Then you got
Trolls. Trolls are lineups. Like I said, with lineup, we're beating them.
What is the ideal lineup that you think you beat them with?
Will we beat them with?
Yeah. Because Arbiter went 8-4 last week.
Yep.
Right. So
That's
Arbiter went crazy, right?
I want Arbiter at both Trolls games, and I want Arbiter to show off at both Trolls games.
But
that's what I want.
Do you think that's gonna happen though?
Yes. Arbiter
so?
Arbiter has not let me down once.
He's been doing well this season. I agree. He has been doing well this season. But I just feel like if anybody's gonna get in his head, it is QWERTY and Bosif, and then TLG on top of that.
Yes. But if anyone got in their heads last time they played the Phantoms, it was Dad Hat Tony. So
Okay.
I don't know. They got factors because last time they played, yeah, that last time the Trolls played us, and y'all got y'all first wins when you were coaching them against us. A couple of them were in their bag. Oh, TLG want to talk his talk.
Oh,
TLG want to
okay. All
talk
right.
his
All
talk.
right. Well, he didn't even have a game last week. Nah,
Even,
tell that
yeah,
later today.
yeah,
No, get out
yeah.
of here.
We'll talk to you next Friday, next week, next
Exactly.
Wednesday
You ain't have a
when
game.
we win.
No, we want to talk to people from the Bucks or the Phantoms. If you're in
And,
this, Bucks or Phantoms,
but
that's who we talking to at
as
this point.
far as what I believe in my team and what I believe my team could do, what I believe the team is capable of. If we continue practicing and continue, doing our due diligence, we can be a team that, like I said, what not first place. I'm not seeing championship this season, but I'm definitely seeing playoffs and then continue to see rising in the playoffs. If we look at, because people don't want to talk about it because they love talking the Phantoms down. Like they just it's top tier. I get it. We're an expansion team that did nothing last season. But if you look at the box scores and the numbers and the rankings, I think we're number 2 in most single wins. Like
Yeah, but
players.
the only thing here's my thing with the stats on that. Y'all forfeit a lot of games.
We,
Like,
we didn't forfeit. People forfeit against us.
yeah, but you forfeit a lot of games through like timeouts and problems setting up and all that stuff. Like, if y'all can't get that
Yeah.
figured out, these games, you're not gonna win these games. Like, you're not beating the Trolls with Havoc and Jesse and Antonio, like telling them, yo, you better set these games up. Like, you're not beating them if you can't set the games up.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I'm not going.
Do
People
you?
who are
I'll
at
ask
the
you this:
game.
do you think you could beat the Bandits?
Um, I'm always gonna say yes. You're not gonna see. This
All
is
right.
you're talking. You're not talking to me as a caster right
So
now. You're gonna talk to
you
me
think
as a
you beat the
fan.
Eclipse?
No, 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 no.
You said you was always gonna say yes. That's
You know
crazy.
what? I'm beating the Eclipse too. I'm beating the Eclipse. I'm beating Reapers, and I'm beating the Reapers in the ratings in this show, and I'm beating the Reapers in the real games. I'm going ham. The
Oh,
Phantoms is
that's
taking it all
crazy.
the way.
So NN said the Trolls was going 9-1 this season. I personally, let me look at the Troll schedule, and I don't want to get too far into this, but I do want to respond to that because I want to look at the Troll schedule and see where they're getting that from. But Trolls 9-1. I don't know who NN is, but
9-3.
9-3. You
Six
think?
and
Or I mean
6-3.
six.
6-3.
It would be
6-3.
7-3. 7-3. All right.
7-3. They're losing to us twice. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good luck with that. But here's what I'll say. The Trolls, so they play. First, I want to say y'all not beating the Bandits this season. The Bandits are gonna be a problem. I'm calling it. Look. I'm gonna look at this camera. The
All
Bandits
right.
are gonna be a problem this season. I'm telling y'all,
Yeah,
they're gonna be a
yeah.
problem. And clip that. Let everybody know. Put it out. Oh, that's Havoc. Okay. Yeah, Bandits gonna be a problem. And
I
and
can't wait. I
I
can't wait
say
till it
that
talks.
because the band. Do they have a game this week? Tell me they have a game this week. I'm watching all Bandits games. Bandits and Wolves. All right, Bandits Wolves. So I say that because when I watched that last game, okay,
hmm
I don't know. I
hmm
think they lost, but it didn't matter. Watching that last game, their setups were perfect. Their lineups were perfect. And their skill in those games were at a level where because they're all still so young and they're so driven and they play these games so much, they are going to be a problem. If they keep that commitment through the rest of this season, it doesn't matter what happens in the season. When they get in the playoffs, they're going to give everybody trouble. If they keep the same coaching, the same strategic prowess that they showed, their lineup was perfect, perfection. They're going to be a problem. But the Trolls, all right. So they play Phantom, then
We win.
Bandits, right? So I think they're 3-0 at that point.
I don't believe it.
Okay. Bucks, that puts them probably 4-0 unless the Bucks can get their unless the Bucks can practice the games that they don't that the Trolls don't play. They'll probably be 4-0. Gorillas, I think that puts them at 5-0. I do think this will be their season that they beat the Gorillas. The Cobras, I don't know. I don't know that they have the. I don't know that they have the ability to get through the Cobras, because the Cobras are going to be a problem this season. But let's say they do. That's 6-0. Phantoms, again, at 7-0. Eclipse,
Ay, ay, ay.
7-1. Ravens, they got to beat the Ravens twice at the end of the season.
What do you guys
might be
need
right.
from us?
He might be right. They might be
What do
right.
you guys?
9-1.
What
They
do you
might be
guys?
right.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say it in the
God.
comments. I'm gonna say this in the comments. What do you guys need from us now? What do we need to do now to prove that we're not the Phantoms of old? I feel
Well,
like
here's what I would need.
written in
Here's what I would need to see.
It's
All I
written
pay
in.
attention to. All I pay attention to is the coaching and the rotation. If I'm watching a game and it is obvious that you guys have zero coaching going on. Here, let's pull up an example here. All right, I'm gonna pull up an example, and Madden's probably the best way to be able to showcase it. Oh, what
The one that
you
we
guys
won.
130? Yeah, no,
The
that's probably
one
not
that
it.
we
I was
the
thinking
one
more
that we
a
won.
close
Yeah,
Madden match. Hold on.
the one that we won.
Hold on. All right. So this is.
Because I tell people in this game, if we pay quite attention, you see the score is 3-3 right now, right? And then the Phantoms take the lead. And ever since the Phantoms took the lead, we never gave it back.
Yeah.
Never gave it back.
Yeah, but again, what I'm paying attention to is something different. It's not wins and losses to me. A win in a single game is irrelevant to me. I don't pay attention to that at all, because even if you're winning, I'm watching how are you winning. Is it clear that someone is coaching and making these calls together? If I'm watching your screen, right, and your team,
Mhm.
this right now we're watching you guys, right? I'm watching
Yeah.
this. I'm seeing your team is staying together. I'm seeing no communication from Mr. B whatsoever. He's just staring at the screen blankly, right? Then when they go to the next person, it's the same thing, staring at the screen blankly, right? He said something there. Okay. Now, by the way, this guy, I'm really impressed with this guy, Karazik,
Ozzy was
Yeah,
just
yes,
Ozzy.
very impressed. Like this
Mhm.
season, I've seen so much from him because I pay attention to these little things. Again,
Thank you.
communication. I'm
Needs to
watching
hear
that, right? But if I watch your team and I don't see anybody communicate in any of the games, and they're not playing
Mhm.
together, then it doesn't matter that you win a single game. When you get to the next one, you're going to lose because you don't have the basic skills. It's kind of like, for me, if I'm watching a basketball match, right? And
Mhm.
you shoot lights out that match, but your team doesn't know how to pass the ball, can't dribble the ball, can't run, and can't, like, and the coach is horrible. But you won, and you shot lights out, you scored 150 points, and the other team just couldn't keep up. The shootout, you guys won. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. You clearly aren't a better team because you don't have the other components that are so important to actually win matches. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's all
I
I
just-
care about, because it's 60%. It's 60% of this game is coaching. Period. Like, and that's a minimum 60%. If you have a good coach, and you saw that when I coached the Trolls, right? The difference between Trolls before Jesse, after Jesse. The another team is the Bandits. The Bandits before 300, after 300. The Ghost before 300, after 300. The Bots when Billy's there, when Billy's not there, right? Even Eclipse when AJ and Jury both aren't there versus when AJ and Jury are there. They're different teams altogether. They communicate different. They play different. The way they get into these games, it just changes everything. When you see, if you watch a match with the Cobras, for example, and you watch Strix and Juki when they're playing and they're communicating with each other first, and then the team, and they're okay with, like, screaming at somebody like, what are you doing? Why aren't we communicating? Why aren't we talking? That's the stuff that wins games. Period. If you don't have that, you're not going to win. And again, I'm watching Mr. B stare blankly into the screen while you guys are getting into fights. That tells me all I need to know.
I mean, Dubski came from Husky. So I'm gonna say once we keep winning these Dubskis, we're gonna prove y'all wrong.
Look, I told you how you could prove me wrong. It was a long-winded answer, but that's how you prove me wrong. That right there, if I start seeing that from your team, everything changes for me. I'll be like, oh snap, the Phantoms are gonna be a problem.
I feel like you're seeing little wins and pieces, but not seeing the whispers and the crickles. I feel like
I watched the whole game, fam. I'm watching the whole game.
I'm watching him scream at him. B. I'm watching the moves. You just not look right there, move again.
Yeah, Kazi talk. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said.
That's not Kazi. Oh, you're probably was a little.
Oh
yeah.
You're watching that. No, I see you communicate, and I see Kazi communicate. I agree that the two of you communicate, but that's not going to make the team. You got to see everybody talking, and then you got to see the movement from the team too. Let me see if there's a game. I don't think we have one here because. Let me see. Did you guys win this? No. Bucks won Dead by Daylight, right? No, you guys won Dead by Daylight.
No, we did. We won all the strategy games.
Yeah, you won Yu-Gi-Oh too. Yeah, Bucks at this point. This is where they fell apart. Anybody from the Bucks wanna speak? I think we beat this one with a dead horse. Or beat this one. What is it? What is it saying? And it doesn't matter. But
beat it with a dead horse, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'm very impressed with Kazi. I'm impressed with how you've played this season. I'll say it. I think you've played really well. I'm super impressed with Arbiter. Like, the only thing that I'm afraid of with Arbiter is he going to keep that same positive mindset when the games aren't close? Because that's what you need. You need him to stay in the game when it's not close. When you're getting blown out, you're down by 6. That's when people start falling apart. And you're gonna need him to stay together. You can't have him falling apart. So that's gonna be up to you and DZ and Rory to keep that team together.
And I believe that that's what everyone's seeing, and I believe that he's gonna, Arbiter came in with a chip on his shoulder, and I believe that he wants to prove everyone that he can be what was believed of him, because he is a phenomenal player. He does have coverage in a lot of the games. It's just like you said, being positive. And as of right now, I don't see Arbiter having a negative point, but I do see, like I told a lot of people, I see Arbiter being a leader. I see Arbiter definitely taking a leader role within the Phantoms, and he's done a lot. He's carried us both games in a lot of critical moments. Yeah. So I'm just ready to see what he's ready to show you guys this season. I don't want to speak too much on him, but I know as being his teammate this season and seeing the hard work, what I mean by hard work that this man has put in practice and beyond that, I believe that he's going to show you guys something this season.
And you're talking about Arbiter? You're talking about Arbiter?
Arbiter, yes, Arbiter.
Yeah, yeah.
He's putting in a lot of hard work when it comes to all of these games. And
I'm not sold. I'm not sold yet on Arbiter. The only thing I care about is the attitude. That's the only thing, because I already know he's good. He's good at games. I already know that. I already know he has the skill. I already know he has the knowledge. I already know all that stuff. I don't care about any of that stuff. That stuff is like, it's important, yes, but it is much more important to keep a good attitude when you're down by 6. The Reapers never get to a championship if they don't make a comeback when they're down 7 or 8 points against the Ravens. If they never make that comeback, they never win a championship, right?
Yeah.
So that is what it takes to be able to do that. That's what it takes. And if you don't have that in you, and and again, it's just that I've never seen it. Maybe you have it in you, but I've never seen it. So for me, I need to see that first. Then I start talking about, oh man, this team can win a championship. That's what I've seen from the Bandits time and time again. Down 10 with the same attitude and the same talkers and the same, they're still doing the same thing they did when they were tied. They're still doing the same thing they were doing when they were up. That's what matters to me.
Yeah, that like you said, I'd hate to do it, but I would have to agree upon you with that one. Attitude is it's 50, it's 60, 40% of the game.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And someone says, "Oh, Kazi is in." He says, "Yeah, we got work to do." Absolutely, um, absolutely. I mean, you guys are definitely doing better than I think anyone
That's
expected. I don't think
yes.
anybody expected you to do as well as you're doing. Um, and yeah, I mean, um, yeah, Kazi, you've been killing it. So good
Kazi
job.
rookie of the year, Kazi.
Yeah, that's the stretch, but nah, he's definitely doing well.
Tony,
So
most improved player of the year.
Phantom's heading in the right direction. Somebody, I'm actually him. Oh, that's him probably. Yeah, they're heading in the right direction. I agree. Um, so Bobby says like the squad on the Phantoms, they just need to clean up a few things.
You
Yeah,
see,
they've got a good team. You can't take that from them. They've got a good team.
they try. They
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
They definitely try.
The way you said that, that's crazy. Nah, I mean
Yeah.
they've got a good team. They got a solid foundation, and that's kind of what a lot of people don't understand when building teams and building the franchises like the Reapers, right? I watched that happen, and so a lot of the rookies didn't get to watch that. I watched that happen. I watched when the team came in, and they're just the only thing that they're focused on is getting better. They're losing game after game. You know, it was like they had zero chance for 2 seasons as Baba Yaga. Then they come back and they're still like, you know what, let's just keep pushing. And they still feel like they have zero chance. And then they start winning a few. And then they start putting things together. And then they start figuring it out. And then you get into the next season and they're like you think they're gonna do a lot better. They still end up doing not as good. Then they get third place the next season and it's like, oh snap, maybe they're gonna be a problem here. And then next thing you know, they're going to the championship and everybody's like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, but hey, maybe, right? And then they win in a dominant fashion.
Mhm.
That all took time. That was over the course of like 5 seasons. This isn't
And that's
something that's just like you're gonna come in and dominate. It's just not gonna happen.
that's why I circle back to that point of like we have to start being more realistic and
Yeah.
seeing like a lot of even especially a lot of the expansion teams who are just full of rookies. You know, a lot of us have only 1 or 2 vets or whatnot, so we have to, like you said, we want to aim to be the Reapers, but everyone wants to be the Reapers now
Right.
and not put the work and the grind that the Reapers put in to get to be the
And
Reapers.
continue to put in. The Eclipse
Yes.
aren't the Eclipse by accident, right? They've
Yeah.
continued to put in that work. They could have been left behind after season 1. They could have been left behind after season 2, but they continued to put in the work. It didn't just come
Mhm.
easy. They had to put that work in, right?
Even
Um,
even if you consider the last 2 seasons, the two teams that made it to the championships were the
mhm.
same 2 teams
Right.
because they realized, hey, that's our spot.
So, all right.
Next game.
Yeah, Reapers, Cobras. I want to talk about a few things. And then if anybody wants to talk from the Cobras, hey, let us know. Hit that head up, and we'll get you in the call.
Mhm.
First, how are we feeling about the Cobras? How are we feeling?
Um, I feel like the Cobras, once they're not showing their best foot forward, but I believe that they have a team that once they get into the groove of things, it's gonna be a problem. They're definitely gonna have they're gonna be a problem to the league. They're gonna surprise and at the same time not surprise a lot of people on where they stand.
Yeah, I agree. I so the Cobras to me are the best example of Reapers circa season 5. Like they are the best example I can give. If you want to see a team, so last season they come in, they're getting blown out by most teams. They have a good squad. Like if you look at the skill on the Cobras, you see the skill is there. They have a great squad, but there's a lot of things that need to happen before that squad really meshes. And I think they did such a good job last season, similar to again Reapers season 5, putting everyone into the same mindset of this is our mission. We're going to accomplish this together. And then
Yeah.
and then run with it, right? That's where I think the Cobras. If we look at the Cobras schedule, let me pull it up.
Mhm.
So you have Bandits. They beat the Bandits. No, they lost to the Bandits. All right. Oh, the Bandits won. Okay. No, wait. Am I tripping?
They did? No, I think it's Cobras won that one.
Okay, so they're 1-1 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So they lost to the Reapers. Then they had the Ghosts. I honestly, and we just talked to Rad. They're gonna beat the Ghosts. The Cobras are gonna beat the Ghosts, especially if the Ghosts decide to do any funny business. They've lost right then and there. They've lost that game because the Cobras are not gonna be. The Cobras are not gonna be like a Phantoms or a it's just not going to happen. They're not going to play games. They're going to come in there and wipe the floor with rookies if you try and put rookies in. You're going to have to come with your best team. And if your best team's not available, that game's over. Wolves.
Yeah.
The Cobras are probably going to run through the Wolves as well. Reapers again. This is season 5. The Reapers started the season off playing the Bots and Eclipse as their first 2 games. Their first 2 games was Bots, who had just went against Eclipse in the finals. So you had Bots, who again was second place team, then Eclipse right after that. And it might have been vice versa. It might have been Eclipse and then Bots. That was their season. That was how that season started. So imagine like you're coming in, you're an expansion team, you're hoping for the best, and your first 2 games are Bots, the second place team, and then the first place team. That's won 4 championships, right? That's what Reapers went through season 5. This is what the Eclipse are dealing with. Second game is Reapers, and then 4th or 5th game is Reapers. Like I said, it's the closest comparison I can come up with.
Yeah.
And Hollywood said it was Karma, then the Bots. Yeah, so they played the first place team, then the second place team, back to back.
Which is like I don't know if we would how would you think about it, but in my mindset, I kind of like those odds, not in like odds as in like we're seeing Cobras take out the win, but like the odds in like the Cobras can see where they stack up.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, so looking at this schedule, I don't think the Cobras are going to have much of a chance in seeing where they stack up because when you play the Reapers throughout the season, like you have to measure like, and I don't know that people recognize this, but you have to measure where you are right now, right, and in all of these games, and then keep that record because you want to make sure that you've leveled up with them or above them by that end. But so 2 games later, you play them again, and this time, what are the scores in all of these games? That's because you're not gonna beat them, and you're not deciding how you stack up. You have to decide in that second game, are we even gonna come like if we can't catch up to them, if we're still at the same point we were when we started this season, we need to dead this game because we know we're gonna have to beat them in order to make it into the championship, and that's pretty much our only chance at doing that. We have to be able to beat them in the games that we were close in the next time we see them.
Yeah, we got Bubbles who can. He said he's ready to hop in whenever.
All right, bet. Let's bring Bubbles in because I want to talk to him about the Cobras for sure.
Yeah, let's go right here and then.
Yo,
Bubbles.
what's up? What's up?
Have we had you on this season yet?
No, you have not.
All right, cool. Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna kick you off if we have. All right, so Cobras. I want to talk about the Cobras with you real quick.
All right.
Dad, hey, you start off. You ask the first few questions. Wait, is Dad Hat on this call? Oh my gosh, this man.
Oh, he just disconnected. There he is.
You there?
Yep.
All right, bet. Go ahead. You start with the first questions.
All right, Bubs. How do you guys feel? How you guys are going to stack up against some of these stronger teams moving forward after this game's performance?
So this game's performance was actually really good intel gathering for going forward. It showed us things that we got to work on as a team. as well as possibly lineups things that we need to start correcting. And I think overall, it's I think we'll be stronger moving forward against some of these stronger teams next time we play Reapers. I think we'll have a better showing.
Hmm. Do you feel?
Now,
Go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Do you feel? I was gonna say now with what games do you feel that you guys need to improve on, and what categories do you guys feel like you're gonna take better next time? Because this game surprised me in a way that was a lot of the strategies where I thought you guys would pull out on top of. You guys kind of lacklustered in, and as well as with the racers, I consider you guys a heavy racer team, but you guys surprised by taking most of the fighters. So how are you guys looking forward in strategies, and what are you doing in practice to prevent any of this happening again?
So I feel moving forward, just getting more team practices with the racers in particular and strategy. I think going into games, we need to practice more strategy because we know that we're strong in strategy, but we still need to practice it.
Hmm.
And that's I think where a big part of our lack in strategy wins came from was just the lack of practicing it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So, do you feel like the next time you guys play, you're gonna have the tools necessary to play better?
100%, yes.
Do you think there was anything specifically that would have made this game a closer game, even from the like? Do you feel like you guys played at your best this game?
Um, I do not. I feel like there was multiple times where we had a strategy in play, and then mid game we deviated from our set strategies, and I think that's part of where our confusion sometimes in game came from, as well as just in game communication is always really important, and just sticking on top of that and giving good call outs all the time.
Hmm. So you do or you don't feel? I feel like it was a double answer. Do you feel like you played at your best or you didn't?
I do not feel like we played at our best.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. And so the next time you play, if you are competing at a high level, do you see yourself beating the Reapers in week 5, I think, or week 6?
I could see it. I could see it happening, but we got a lot of work to do if we're gonna do it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So then
Name
yours,
game?
huh? No, no, not yet, not yet. Your schedule. So I want to talk to you about your schedule. You
Okay.
have Bandit. You beat the Bandits. You lost to the Reapers, right? Am I right
Yep.
so far? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So then Ghosts. Are you winning or you think you're winning or losing that game?
I think we can win it.
Can or will?
Will.
All right. Wolves.
Wolves. We win.
Okay. So Reapers we already talked about. Trolls.
Trolls is gonna be a really good game.
You,
That one I think is like 50-50.
who wins?
Um,
Oh, it's
I'm gonna say the Trolls win.
Really? Okay.
wow.
Light some
Really?
fire into my team.
Okay. So it's going to be close, but you think Trolls take it ultimately.
I'll say that.
Okay. Ghosts, you win again, right?
Yes.
Gorillas.
The Gorillas. I think we have enough fire to win that.
Okay. Wolves,
Wolves. We win again.
and then bots.
Bots. If they start practicing, it might be closer.
But
But at the
otherwise,
moment, we win.
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean you're
right.
talking end of season too, so
I
Yes.
like the trash talk too. If they start practicing.
so that puts you at 7-3 this season
Yeah, I think we can do that.
then. Can or will?
I think we can do that. We got a lot of stuff we got to work on, but it's definitely a potential that we can reach.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think so too. I think the way you guys communicate and watching every game, I pay attention to all these games. I'm a big fan, right? So when I'm watching these games and I'm seeing the rate of communication is something I pay attention to. Am I seeing somebody talking every 5-10 seconds? Or am I watching somebody sit there for an hour and a half, and not say anything the entire match,
Right.
right? Like if I see that, then that team's not going to be a championship team. It's just not. It's just not. You cannot play and not communicate and win a team game. You have to communicate. Everybody has to be talking constantly. Everyone should know where everyone else is. Everybody should know what everybody else is doing. So when I don't see that, then I'm like, all right, this is a problem. And what I'll say is, the Cobras are really good communicators. Like you guys definitely should pat yourselves on the back for that because, and I think it comes from the man himself, Third. But I think all of you have really taken on to that and have become a great communicating team, and that will help you in the long run.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah. So whose fault is the loss to the Reapers?
I'm gonna have to say the fault is on Third.
Yeah, we got to ban the whole coach thing. That's out of the.
Yeah.
Who else? Whose fault?
Whose fault
Player.
other than that?
Who is the weakest link?
Yeah, we're nerfing the coach. You can't call the coach anymore.
Dang. All right. I'm gonna have to say the weakest, not the weakest link, but the blame I would put is gonna be on Strix.
Ooh,
Strix's
you
fault.
hear it?
Hey, I said it earlier, so he just confirmed. All right, so Strix
You
it
hear
is.
it now.
And I appreciate you jumping on. It's been great. It's technical timeout, and yeah,
Of course.
keep tuning in. Thanks, Bubbles. I look forward this week. Who do you guys play?
Yeah.
So this week we play Ghosts on Sunday.
And you win.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All right. So let me get back on with the Mr. Dad Hat himself. Yeah, this was good. This was definitely. I think seeing all that he has to say, I think that it just kind of shows what I already think. They communicate so well and they talk so well and they follow leadership so well, and I think they've been they have great leadership. So I expect a lot from them. I think the top teams. Who's your top teams actually? Give me your 1 through 10. Here we go. 1 through 10.
1 through 10.
Top teams.
All right.
Power rankings.
Power rankings, top teams. All right. I go Reapers, Eclipse.
So it goes Reapers first. Okay.
Eclipse.
Clips. Okay.
Bots.
Bots. Interesting. Okay.
For this season alone, for what we've watched, bots. Cobras.
Okay.
Phantom Trolls.
Trolls. All right.
So where we at there right there?
That's
The
1,
Trolls
2,
is 7,
3,
right?
4, 5, 6. Now you got so you have left. You have Ghosts. You got Bucks. You got Bandits. And Ghosts, Bucks,
Ghosts,
Bandits,
Bucks, Bandits,
Wolves.
Wolves. All right. So I would have to say Ghosts, Bucks, Bandits, Wolves. Ghost.
Okay.
Let's have to say Ghost.
Okay.
Wolves. Ghost, Bandit, Wolves, Bucks.
Okay. So you're so essentially then the Wolves and I think it'd be the Wolves and the Bandits wouldn't make the play. Or no, the Bucks and the Bandits
Wolves
wouldn't
and
make
the
the
Bucks.
playoffs.
Yeah, the Wolves and the Bucks. Yeah.
Well, the
That's
Wolves
hot.
and the Bucks I think are in the same division. I could be wrong, but
No, yeah, they are because they're with us.
yeah. So it would be Bandits and Bucks, I think. Yeah, Bandits and
Yeah.
Bucks. Okay.
I love
So
the
for playoffs.
Bandits.
Here's mine. So I
know.
would say number one team in the league right now is Eclipse. And
Really?
and I say that because of what they demonstrate. Actually, nah, I got to take that back because after that last game,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
gotta say Reapers because of what the Reapers did to the Cobras. But they had me nervous for a second. Then Eclipse is a close second. That's gonna be tough. But then I would actually put the uh, Trolls, and then I would put
Second?
third. I have
Oh,
Trolls
oh,
third. Yeah, second in their conference. I think the Trolls are a problem. Then I would put Cobras, and then I would put Bandits. So Reapers, Eclipse, Trolls, Cobras, Bandits. Then I would put Bots. Then I would say, Oh, then I would say Wolves. Then I would say Ghosts. So they're down there. Then I would say Phantom, and then Bucks, and only slightly. That's how
yeah.
that's mine.
It's all right. I know I'm making the playoffs this season, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So I think for me it's just same reason for Reapers Eclipse.
Yeah.
But Trolls, their coaching is so solid. Like, I mean, Jesse does the box scores, right? So
Yeah.
he knows what every person is doing. He knows what they're capable of. You know, Lockdown's watching every game and has been since the beginning. He understands being an end gamer. He's been coaching the crap out of that team. The Cobras, same thing. I'm doing it based on coaching. I think the coaching from the Cobras and the Bandits has been amazing this season. Bots are always great with coaching, so they're never going to be at the bottom. I don't think, as long as Billy's coaching, I don't think they'll ever be at the bottom. But I
But
think,
below the
yeah, I think
troll?
yes, yeah, I think so. I think the Trolls have the skill this season plus the coaching. I think they have the skill and the coaching this season to be able to be dominant. And they have the attitude. Like they have the chip on their shoulder. They have the momentum. They have the hype. All of that it goes a long way. That's what took the Reapers so far. The Reapers, again,
Yeah.
they started out losing those 2 games, and then they didn't lose again. And they were able to blame it on Cat or not being there or whatever, but they didn't lose again that entire season. And that momentum really kicked them into high gear. I think the Trolls, the record, I mean, if you look at the schedule for them, they have the opportunity to do the same thing. Like they don't play Eclipse until like week 8 or 9.
Hmm.
Like that's going to allow them to have a lot of momentum going into that game, like a lot. And the Reapers are really, I mean, the Reapers and Eclipse, I think, are their biggest problems, and they only play Eclipse. They don't even have to play the Reapers. So, yeah, whatever. That's my thought. And then Cobras again, same thing. Bandits are going to be a problem. I think bots have a pretty tough schedule too.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it's not too bad. They play
Good.
Reapers once. They play Eclipse once. Nah, yeah, the bots are gonna be good too. They're gonna be good too because
That's what I'm saying. Bots are always good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I
Nah,
expect it.
I think that all the teams are gonna be in that like 6-4, 7-3 range, and then there'll be a couple teams that are outliers at either undefeated or. And I think if there's a team that's gonna go undefeated, it's probably going to be the Reapers. And now that the Reapers and Eclipse play each other, I don't think they can't both go undefeated, right? But
Yeah.
I think
I can't wait to
actually
see that.
regular season, I think Eclipse beat the Reapers regular season. And I think they'll come prepared to beat them regular
And
season.
only reason I believe I would agree with you on that is how I feel some of the players are on the Reapers have been, chilling.
Yeah, yeah.
They still, I feel like, they get that, you got that championship win and you just went, you
Made a
did the
lot of
shack.
money. Yeah,
Yeah, you went and did the shack and you
Yeah.
ate a couple of donuts and you forgot the practice regimen.
yeah. I mean,
'Cause there's no way they should have been losing all those fighters.
time will tell, man. Time will tell. So, anyways, yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching. I know this was
Yeah.
a good episode, a long episode, but I appreciate everybody for being here. And this is Technical Timeout. It's your boy Titus.
Your boy Dad had